the topic I wanted to talk about today is sexuality. And coming from Ireland, I suppose there's a lot of stigma, there's a lot of baggage that comes around sexuality and sexual preferences and just sexuality in general. And it's a topic that's not really discussed or is very much shunned because it's uncomfortable for a lot of us. And I mean, I've definitely had my struggles with that, and part of this video is just the expression of that. It's what I've learned and my own experiences, and yeah, it's like I get to share a message, then I will. And just to give you a bit of an idea of my own experience of it, I was with women all my life, and a number of years ago I had an intimate relationship with a man, and that changed my world because I allowed intimacy with another person who happened to be a man, and my identity around sexuality was obliterated. Basically, it was gone because I couldn't call myself straight, I couldn't call myself heterosexual or whatever other term or label you want to call it. And it really led to a lot of confusion around sexuality for me. And that's been an ongoing process for years, and the point of it is that the more I've understood, the more I've learned about myself, is that when you get caught up in the labels, it can be very easy to get tangled because there's so many labels and so much attached to each of the labels. And the more I look back, the more I see it as a beautiful experience where I allowed intimacy with another person, another human. And all the noise around it is around the gender, the identity, the preferences, the stigma and all that. That's the weight of it. That's what I have to work through. And I suppose the point of this video is that it's really taken me a while to understand what that means, the significance of it. And I mean, am I bisexual? Am I gay? Am I heterosexual? It's not even relevant. I'm open. I'm human, and I'm more and more that I'm understanding what that means, and being in a city at the moment where it just celebrates people, for being unique, for being themselves. It's very much a breath of fresh air. The reason I record a video about it is predominantly because most of my followers, most of the people that are friends with me that will see this video are actually from Ireland, so they grew up around the same stigma, the same condition. And what I've learned about myself from that experience is that having a sexual preference is nothing got to do with your masculinity, nothing got to do with your strength, and it's basically, it doesn't make you better or worse, it doesn't make a difference, to be honest. And incredibly so, this has been a hard lesson for me, and it's led to a lot of confusion, a lot of suffering, and a lot of guilt and shame to go with it. And it's taken me a long time to untangle all those knots and to be in a position where I can actually record a video about it. And the reason I record a video about it is because I realise that there's many people who have that confusion around sexuality, who don't know how to go about understanding themselves. And what I can say from my own experience, my experience has been that your desires and your preferences when it comes to sexuality, when it comes to anything like that, is fine, it's perfect. And I mean, to allow experiences, or to have allowed experiences, it does break down your identity, it does completely transform the way you see yourself, and also it is an incredible way to liberate yourself, to be free and to be open, because I have so much adoration, I have so much love for people that I used to have based on my own judgment on myself. And now when I see people and see that aspect of myself in another person, it gives me an opportunity to celebrate that too, and to acknowledge that part of myself in another person, whether that be sexual preference, whether that be a way of life or profession, way of thinking, something different. And I suppose as I record this video and I go with my feeling on recording videos and share messages, it's like what we choose, our desires, doesn't have to have such a weighted consequence. So doing something or having something or allowing an experience doesn't necessarily mean anything more than we allowed that experiences, that we felt like that might be something that we can learn from, or that might be something we can enjoy, and we don't need to carry the weight of it. And I mean, if anyone around seeing this video has something inside them that's that confusion, I know how much of a nightmare it can be, and I say it with all the openness and all the truth that I can muster, that you are perfect as you are, in your own way, doing your own thing, finding out who you are along the way, through all the experiences, and through exploring our desires, through exploring the world and how we fit in it. That's how we learn about ourselves. And it's like, let ourselves off the hook, let ourselves do what we want to do. And the association with guilt and shame, and we've done something wrong, or we're bad and all that, it's like to not identify with that. That's a harder process to do rather than to talk about. But I mean, part of my journey and the experience I've been through, I feel certainly that a part of them is that I heard something years ago and it made a lot of sense, is that my story isn't necessarily mine to hold. So the way I see that is that there's so much hands involved in the experiences and the life that I have, from being created to being birthed in this life, to the experience I've had, the help I've had from people along the way, or just luck or blessings or guidance. And that story carries such a thread of that connectivity, and to see it as that means I can let it go, means I can actually share it and not get so caught up in it, in the importance of it or the significance of it, only to feel what's right and what's true, and to speak from that place. So I hope this reaches you well, and if this touches a chord with you at all, I hope you feel the message more than what I'm saying, that todo es perfecto. It's a saying that I come back to. It's a message that I got a while back, and everyone's perfect as it is, and you're inclusive of that. So take care, all the best.